Today is November 29th. I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. And today's the first day. We're going to start from Thursday. And I'm so glad we're doing on Thursday because if it was Monday, I couldn't make it. It was too much things to do. So thank you, Dolores. Good idea. So we'd like to start the meeting, Toastmaster meeting. I'd like to introduce our president, Mr. John Robert Wilson.
Very much, Izumi. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Yes, Izumi, I think it's nice to have it on Thursday. We can see Dolores and Rick. A couple of housekeeping items before we get in here. The 27th, we are going to be dark. So that meeting, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is not occurring. In addition, if everyone ICC'd on the list, we did have a guest contact us. They are not able to arrive in December, but they are looking to be here January 10th. So I will try and remember to follow up with them. Rick, Dolores, if you could also help me remember to follow up with them as we get closer to January to make sure that we can follow through with them. That said, we have an exciting meeting today with some members we haven't seen in a while, so I would like to get started by introducing our Toastmaster of the day, which is also myself. I'm double rolling as always, so thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully I will be able to talk loud enough to overpower this much needed and blessed rain for today.
Which is a good thing.
The theme of the day, I think, was wrapping up the year, which it's actually kind of nice that we're wrapping up the year with rain like this to help us hopefully move into a positive year. And we're also making some changes here at Toastmasters, moving to Thursdays. And we're going to be making some changes to today's schedule because I need some hopefully much needed roles. Ivan will not be able to make it, so I, as Toastmaster, will fill in for General Evaluator. Is there someone who would like to take Topics Master for today? Dolores, Izumi, Dolores, okay. We'll be taking Topics Master. Tomo.
Yes.
You will be speaking as Speaker 1. Rick, you are Speaker 2.
Okay.
Correct. Ivan will not be here as an Evaluator 1. Who would like to be an Evaluator for Tomo? Zumi, I believe you're already evaluating Rick, correct?
Oh, I am. Okay.
I could try it.
Thank you.
Okay. And Dolores. And Grammarian and Awe Counter. Who would like to take that role?
I think since I only have one role, I should take at least two.
Okay. That will be Rick. Vote counter is Izumi and timer. So that gives me everything to get started with our meeting. Again, what a rocky road that we have had this year with lots of changes both from Toyota, from Denso 10, as well as everyone around us. But that gives us an ability to start fresh and start over. So I wanted to thank all of you for taking the opportunity to come. Thank you, Dolores, for your efforts to come back to the club. And I am looking forward to some very, very exciting speeches today. To get that kicked off, could I first call on my helper, which will be the timer, Izumi Walker, to explain your role and give us a little bit of what we will be doing during this session.
I'll be timing us your speech and also table topic is an evaluation speeches. Was it 5 to 7 minutes?
5 to 7 minutes, unless Rick has a
No, 5 to 7.
5 to 7
5 to
minutes.
7 minutes.
Okay.
And 30 seconds before and after for speech is grace period.
Okay, thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce Distinguished Toastmaster Rick Shigio, who will explain his role as grammarian and Awe Counter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests are welcome. I will be the grammarian and the counter also?
Yes.
Okay, the grammarian and counter today. And I will be looking for great uses of the English language. And I'm going to introduce the word of the day today. And the word of the day is optimal. It is an adjective, and it is best or most favorable or optimum. For an example, he keeps his engine tuned for optimal performance. So if you want to go ahead and put one up front, put a couple on each side. It's a recycled word, so from another club.
There we go.
So I would like that back so I can put it in my emergency file, which I always make sure I have an emergency file of words of the day.
Thank you very, very much, Rick. And now on to the most exciting part of the meeting, or the first most exciting part of the meeting, and that is our speeches. And our first speaker of the day is coming up on his 1 year, I believe. Tomo, correct?
Yeah, kind of 6 months.
Tomo has been working very hard, both in a leadership position as well as a speaker role, filling in as many speaking roles as he possibly can, and has been making significant improvements throughout the year. And I am excited to see what he has to tell us about today. So I would like to introduce none other than Tomo Shinkawa.
Oh,
That's the evaluation.
Thank you very much.
You evaluated?
yes.
Okay.
Hello, may I start?
Yes, you can start.
Hello, Toastmasters and the distinguished Toastmasters and the great President John Roberts. Last weekend, I prepared a very organized speech, and my wife, who is an English teacher, and I were discussing we are organizing the script for today's speech. However, I let her record her voice. I let her make a speech to record my script I designed, and I was listening the audio while commuting from Monday to Wednesday yesterday. I did not complete. I was going to memorize all script with a fluent English accent. So I will pass the topic on next meeting. So this morning I almost gave up to make the perfect speech today, but I decided to make a improvising speech. So today's topic, I changed the topic to the topic counting magic. Yes, counting magic. So I set up improvising speech, counting magic. So as often I brought up my speech, how positive attitude affect your performance or more like a life. So counting magic meaning counting the good thing you feel, what you experienced. So actually I have been experiencing good fortune was brought by counting good things. So now I have 4 things I encountered lucky experience last week. First, I had been wanting to have a standing desk at my cubicle, standing desk, the level of the monitors can be lifted up, standing desk. I had been wanting to have that, but my division did not have enough budget for that for me. However, the other divisions, next divisions, have enough budget for that. So they have extra standing desk, which nobody uses. And this day, my division has a meeting with the other division, and I have a role. I am expected to make them work, make them negotiate with their customers. However, I see a lot of fact which can tell the other division cannot proceed as my division expects. So I kind of support the other division supervisors' reason why they cannot work as my division expected. So I supported the other division supervisor. So the other division supervisor has an extra standing desk. So last Thursday, I think my supportive data made him think, oh, Tomo needs a standing desk. So we have an extra standing desk. Maybe this desk, Tomo wants to use this desk. So the other division supervisor gave me the standing desk because I supported his idea, but kind of it is confronting to my supervisor's expectations. However, I obtained the standing desk with my effort. This is one thing I want to count. And second thing I would like to count is the other thing I'd like to count for Magic is I've been training another flight training, which is very expensive, and I've been really depressed or kind of stressed out about the expensive flight cost and the long time flight training schedule. But however, I was thinking how it can be flipped over, meaning the advantage that flight cost. So I've been thinking about any other way to utilize that cost. Then I finally realized, oh, maybe I should bring my friend to the back seat because only my instructor and I fly with like $200 per 1 hour. So there are two available back seat. Two back seats are available every flight. So I came up idea. Oh, I should invite great Toastmaster president who is sitting here. So I succeeded to bring up some awesome idea to utilize the training cost. So this is a good thing I'd like to count. So this magic works this weekend. And third thing is I had been told by my beautiful wife to wash my car, but I've been postponing. And California doesn't need a clean car because part of the cars are dirty. But today we see a beautiful rain. The rain wash up the dirt on the on the surface of the car. So today I got a lucky rain. I did not have to go to a car wash place. The rain cleaned up my car. This is the third thing I'd like to count for Magic. That's all I have today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Tomo, for that wonderful speech. I think we could all do, well, at least myself could definitely do with counting magic, because I sometimes forget the positive things in my life and tend to dwell on the negative things in my life. And I would recommend, since you do have so many flights, you might want to extend your flight training to other people, since it seems like you're flying about every other day, and I know Rick and Dolores probably would also be interested in flying. He asked me for 8-hour flights last weekend, and I was starting to come down with the cold and a bunch of other stuff, so you should extend to all of them, Tomo, I recommend.
Every Wednesday and one day weekend. 2 hours.
Actually, Wednesday, you leave at 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for us working people, that's hard.
day off. I have a half day off.
So guided tour of Los Angeles. Thank you very much, Tomo. That's very, very appreciated speech. And now we have a very pertinent speech, which I am excited to listen to. As president, I need all the input as I can possibly get on this topic, and I believe Tomo will also benefit from this as the Vice President of Education. And that is the next speech from Distinguished Toastmaster and one of the oldest members of our club, Rick Shio. And his title of the club is from the Competent Communicator, speech number 4, How to Say It. And this title is How to Save Our Club. Thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. 22 years ago, I walked into a conference room called TC5 at the Toyota main campus. I was greeted by 5 people who said, "We are the Toastmasters Club." So I was very impressed with the speeches, the evaluations, and the fact that it was just a very positive, uplifting environment. So I said, okay, next week I will give you a check. So the following week I did give them a check and an application, and they said, great, you are now the Sergeant at Arms. So not knowing anything about what the Sergeant at Arms does, I kind of fumbled my way through that for the first couple of weeks, but had to learn on the fly under pressure. The great thing I learned about that is I was a lot more capable than I gave myself credit for. And since that time, I've done quite a bit of things throughout Toastmasters that have actually amazed me. And I've gotten my Distinguished Toastmaster, and I'm working on my second, which should be done sometime in the spring. So having 2 DTMs, I was thinking about the situation with this club. And after observing the club and being in it for many years, I know we're small but mighty at this point. So there are 3 solutions that we have that we can use to determine what happens in the club. Solution number 1 is we slog along with the few members we have, and we wait for people to call us or to come to the club and hope that we can get up to a manageable number, which I think at least we have to have at least 12 to have a functioning Toastmaster club where at least 2/3 of the people show up. That is a huge challenge, and probably will just kind of prolong the agony until this club actually folds. Now, the second alternative was to find Toastmasters clubs for everyone here. And there are several clubs. There are clubs on Mondays, Monday evenings, Tuesday evenings, Wednesday at lunch, and I'm not sure about how many are on Thursday, other than the evening clubs. But there's 4 days in the work week where there are multiple clubs that are meeting, including the club which is like our child, which is Motor Mouths, which also started in Toyota. They are on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. But there are multiple clubs that are within the area. The only one that is during the work hours is the one at Herbalife. And a member from their club, Connie Gaston, said, anyone who wanted a daytime club, it's open to everyone and they are welcome. It's about a 5-minute drive from here. But you will not be able to, it won't be held here at this building. And so that's the second alternative is to place people in different clubs. And because Dolores and I have a tremendous amount of experience of these clubs in this area, because we are both area governors in this area, we can steer people to the proper club that would be probably best suited for their needs. Then the third alternative is we have to be all in. The third is let's rebuild this club. Okay, the challenges are we have to find a location. We don't have one after, I'm not sure what the date is, but we do not have a location. We'll have to find one. Can we get one for free? Can we get a corporation to acknowledge and adopt us? There's a lot of different challenges that are going to be faced with that. But what it's going to take, if we are going to make this club survive, it's going to take a committed group of 5 people at least. We could probably rope in the area director to assist us, but this is going to take a concerted effort on everyone's part. And if anyone is not willing to spend 3 to 5 hours a week doing the prospecting, doing the searching, and working as a team, the club is not going to survive. That is what's going to take. Everybody's going to have to put at least 3 to 5 hours in every week to find locations, to recruit members, to develop the club, because that's usually what it takes. When you have typically when you have a corporate club, like we have been for all these years, what happens is the corporation, you have to drum up business. And the difficult thing is because we don't even know how many dental people are even gonna be here after the next dues period, which is in April. So we would have to prospect. That means hoofing it. That means going to all the businesses and doing presentations for their Department of HR. And those presentations aren't that hard to do, but getting the appointment is the challenge. So everyone involved in the situation is going to have to contact several different HR departments in the area, because we can't count on Alpine anymore because they are leaving. I don't know if the other clubs or the other units, the other corporations are interested in a club because of the nature, and this is getting more and more industrial warehousing area since we're so close to the harbors. So those are the three alternatives that we do have. But again, one is do nothing and experience a very slow, painful death. Disband the club and send all of our members out to clubs that are more appropriate for them. Or we've got to just say, okay, we're going to knuckle down and work. And this is, like I say, it's going to take building clubs. I have built more clubs than I'd like to talk about. But anyway, it's going to take 3 to 5 people, 3 to 5 hours per week. And it's a committed thing. It's like, and I don't think we're even going to start this till after the holidays, because building the club, this is the slowest time to build clubs because most companies are closed, have holiday parties, or they have year-end stuff they're dealing with. So it's not very likely to build a club in December. But January comes, we've got to either just knuckle down and just say, okay, we're going to be meeting all the time, we're going to have prospecting, we're going to literally have to hoof it. Because if that doesn't happen, we can't rebuild the club. Because we're starting from, honestly, almost zero, because we have no location and we only have 5 members. And we're going to have to find 15 happy, willing people willing to find us a room or to let us use their room to have a location in the club. Challenges being is because also I know that when the Motor Mouse were looking for a new place, they spent 6 or 7 months trying to find something until they found the Encounter Church on Crenshaw, which immediately jacked their dues up. Their dues are now $60 because they have to pay a room fee of $30 every meeting. They donate it to the church, but the church is letting them have a very nice room. So we probably can tie into that, but they found the best option they could find. And the question is, can we find an option that suits us? So there's a program called Moments of Truth, and guess what? This is it. So it's choose and move. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Rick. I feel like we should have just called for a vote on that one at the public. Since you've gone through this a couple of times, Rick, would you be able to put a list of like scheduled to do items?
Yep.
An actual like, what do we need to do, by when, who needs to do what, so we can actually look at.
Because that's a very,
is.
to do an actual like workflow process ABC,
Yeah.
it rarely works that way, because whatever plan you make, it's not gonna work that way. The key is it's gotta be a multi-pronged approach. You've gotta start developing members, building membership, but if you're gonna lose the room, you have to focus on finding a room.
Yeah.
So those are the
With that
two.
said, let me get the timers report.
Tomo-san has a 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Rick-san had a 7 minutes and 19 seconds.
Ooh,
They're both qualified.
Thank you
Just-
very much.
just by that much. I'm getting better.
And now I would like to introduce our long-lost member, Distinguished Toastmaster Dolores Dahl, who will be our Table Topics Master.
Thank you, John Robert.
Thank you.
Can you remind me what the theme is? Is the
I've been trying to remember too. I think it was the end of the year.
Okay.
I sent it out in the email, and then when I was looking for the agenda, I didn't get it, but it was wrapping up the end of the year, so I believe I set it as.
Okay. As,
Non-related questions, if you just want to use from the
Oh.
box.
that's a good idea. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's take one of these.
So if we don't want to say on a theme, we can go from here.
Okay.
We can
Point
pick,
of-
right?
yeah.
Each one can pick too.
Okay,
Point of order, do we need to introduce the helpers for this
Yes,
section or
we
not?
do.
Yeah.
so please, Azumi, can you remind us about the timing for the table topic session?
Yes, table talk is about 1 to 2 minutes, 30 seconds before and after for the speech grace period.
Okay, great, thank you very much. Okay, we'll kind of just pick from the box, or I'll pick from the box, and I'm gonna change the question around a little bit. But the question will be, what was one of your most defining moments of this year? What was one of your most defining moments of this year? And I'd like to call on Tomo for that question.
Stand up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the most defining moment is, yes, I found a Japanese friend who has a pilot license. This is a great moment. I realized my pilot license can work for social relationship, because my pilot license cannot earn money because this is a private pilot license. It's not commercial license. So I've been thinking, oh, how am I gonna pay off the expensive flight training and time, effort? Then I realized, oh, having pilot license credit my kind of intelligence and some sort of social respect. So I did not purposefully use that, but when I was hanging around in Torrance Airport, a Japanese guy, Japanese man, talked to me. Oh, do you happen to be a pilot? Yes, I am. And let's fly. And we flew twice, and I have a very cozy friend through my pilot license. This is a defining moment, and I think this is the optimal way of optimal use of my pilot license.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you, Tomo. I really admire that you put yourself out there and met a complete stranger and have been, using that person to expand your own horizons, flying in the air. Great. And I did neglect to go over the word of the day, so can we please ask Rick to confirm using the word of the day
Sure, to
for
use,
table topics?
yes, using the word of the day during table topics as Tomo did,
Yes.
most optimally using the word. The word is optimal and the adjective is, it is an adjective and the definition is best or most favorable or optimum. For the example, he keeps his engine tuned for optimal performance. So be sure to use that word in your table topics response.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, another question. Throughout the year, we often think back about our childhood. What is one of the memories or incidents about your childhood that you've thought of this year? And tell us, why it was significant to you. And I'd like to ask that question of John Robert Wilson.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Masters, fellow Toastmasters, and most distinguished guests. When you can get here, why did you have to ask that question? So I just celebrated my 38th birthday. I have been here 12 years within this company, and I am going on more than half of my life now here in California, and my 20-year class reunion is coming up next spring, which all of my friends have begun this kind of chat thread. So my friends were not the atypical students, I guess you would say. We were a little bit of the outcasts. Some of us ended up surprisingly in the top of our class academically. However, socially, we were not the most academically acceptable. We were not the sports people. We were not the cheerleaders. We were the punks, the rebels, the goths. And so that memory of graduating with this group of people has kind of really been in my mind this past year, because they are in the process of trying to plan a 20-year get-together in avoidance of everyone else that we went to high school with. So the current decision is to actually go back to one of the girls' mother's house where we used to have all of our high school drinking punk rock parties and actually have a drinking drunk rock party at 38 or 40, which would be an optimal expression of our high school life. However, I'm not really sure that's my personality anymore, and kind of actually am thinking I might want to see the high school that I did remember rather than this crazy drunken punk rock party that was my life. Back to you.
I really appreciate hearing that you've changed your view. Maybe your friends don't want to see all of the past high schoolers, but you've kind of moved beyond, and you are a little bit interested in seeing everybody. So that is a really interesting take on your childhood antics. So I really like that, and I would be really interested to hear how it all goes. We all have hobbies and things that we like to do when we're not working. We sleep and we work. Other than those two, this year in particular, how have you spent some of your free time? What is it that you've been doing? And we will ask that question of Rick Chigio.
Thank you very much, Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters. Spare time. You know, when I was working full-time, I felt like I never had enough time. And now that I haven't been working as much, it's like I don't feel like I have a lot of time. And a revelation came to me as I must love being busy, because I'm always busy. And I have a board of directors meeting. Last night I was singing till about 10 o'clock because that was our last rehearsal before a performance on Saturday. So if everyone's at the Torrance Tree Festival, about 1:30, you can see me and the American Variety Singers up on stage for a half-hour show. So I've got all of that going. It seems like every night and several nights there are conflicts. Like Monday, we had an extra rehearsal, and then I also had a Toastmaster. I have a board meeting next Monday. And I'm going, my goodness, why do I do so many things, and how do I optimize this in my life? And I think it comes to organizational skills, because I cram so much in my life, kind of like I cram so much in my apartment. I just have to organize things and be methodical. Because I know I was looking for my music last night, and also there were some lyrics that I needed to redo, and so I was up until 5 in the morning redoing those, and just. There are 24 hours in a day, and so many people get a bazillion things done in 24 hours, and I get maybe a third of that done. So my objective for 2019 is to optimize that, and also make some time so I can do things like work and actually have some sustainable income coming in, and I think that would be a great thing. But so many things changes, and the only constant in life is change. So this club is changing, that's affecting me. Our supervising police officer at the police department, he is now he's now retiring, so we won't have him. We've got a new crew to work with. We've got another guy who's coming. He wants to change things up in a very positive way. But all these changes, but the only constant in life is change, and it's learning how to roll with it. Madam Topic Master.
Well, thank you, Rick. I forgot that you had gotten into singing, and I think that that's really admirable because you have to learn words, and that's going to keep your brain expanding, definitely. So.
Yeah, I know. I feel like my head's going like, especially.
Not everybody can sing, so I really
Yeah.
think it's a gift.
They just actually, our musical director sprung a new song. We all knew the song, right? But it's Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. But she wanted to, she tweaked it and whatever. She goes, we need one more song for our program on Saturday. So she threw this in, so like for an hour, we rehearsed like crazy, and the first couple times it was like horrible. Then we actually got it. And then one gal who has to, drive a little farther, she was really late. So she came in and she jumped in just like nothing. And I was just very impressed that we could pull it together in less than an hour and a half.
Good job.
So
Thank you.
come to the Tree Festival if you want to
Okay.
have some fun. $5.
Izumi, can we please have the timing report? Was everybody on time or within time?
Yes, Thomas-san 1 minute and 29 seconds, Johnson 1 minute and 58 seconds, Rick-san 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and then everybody qualified.
Oh, great, okay. And did everybody use the word of the day?
Yes, everybody uses the word of the day. Tomo did, John Robert did, and so did I. Congratulations. We had optimal use.
That word, yes. Okay, so please go ahead and vote for either Tomo, John Robert, or Rick. And
vote for either Tomo or Rick, sorry.
that's okay. And also for our best speaker, also you would vote for Tomo or Rick. And pass your vote over to Izumi. Okay, and I will turn the meeting over to, I guess, John Robert as General Investigator. Thank you,
Very much,
everybody.
Dolores.
Thank you.
Very, very good to get the table topics in. Always a highlight of the meeting. So I would like to call on our first evaluator of the day. Unless we would like to switch them since you just got off the stage.
I can do it.
You can do it? Okay. So then I would like to call on the first evaluator of the day, who will be evaluating Tomo Shinkawa's fabulous speech about counting magic, and that will be Dolores Dahl.
Tomo, I was really happy to be able to evaluate you today. Your speech title, Counting Magic, was quite interesting. I had no idea what it would be about, but it intrigued me, got me thinking. Some of the things that you really excelled at, I've noticed that you really slowed down your speaking rate. And that was very helpful. I understood you completely throughout. Keep that up. Your topic was very interesting. It was basically about counting your good fortune in life. And you kind of expanded on some of the themes that are happening right now for you. You presented 3 of them, and I believe even you numbered them, so we kind of knew when you said. And the third thing is, which I thought was very helpful. So that was a very good thing to number them, the many topics. You have talked about a stand-up desk, how to decrease the flying cost, and that you need to wash your car. Good job. Good job. Something that you may want to work on is continue to watch your ums, but they've even improved a lot, I've noticed. And your vocal variety. That's probably one of the hardest things for me, but I think it'll really help you also. So continue to work on that. Two things I want to know about is you used hand gestures, and when you said mine, you actually, touched your body, and I kind of liked that. That was a very good hand gesture. I noticed it. So You're doing very good on hand gestures. Also, your eye contact has greatly improved. You looked at us a lot more, and you did have a small tendency to look up, but it's improved a lot. And I know that's not part of the culture that you're from, but look at us. Eye contact is very important in the American culture. So continue to work on that. And don't worry so much about what you're speaking about. At the beginning, you told us that you had planned to talk about something and then you didn't. Don't tell us. Just speak. Continue to work on your ums and your vocal variety. Don't worry about what you're going to speak about. Maybe tell us about how you get ready to fly. I would find that totally fascinating. But worry about your ums and the vocal variety, and I think you're going to excel and reach your next level. I've already seen a huge improvement, and keep it up. I really enjoyed your speech, Tony.
Thank you very much, Dolores. It's a pleasure to have your evaluations back in the meeting. And yes, very good job, Tomo. It's been fun to watch you improve throughout the year. And now on to our next evaluator, who will be re-evaluating Rick Shigio's speech. And that is our newest member, Izumi. Okay, let me please introduce our awards for the day. For evaluator, I would like to announce our long lost member, Dolores Dahl. And for topics master would be myself. And the distinguished Toastmaster Rick Shigio for his much pertinent speech. And with that said, I will now hand the meeting back over to the president, which is myself. And I believe we already went through next week's speaking roles. Is there any other events or items on the table? I believe we need to upload officers' lists. I got an email this morning. So
Yes.
I believe we're keeping our roles, or are we taking a vote? Dolores?
Can we just keep the rolls
We can
going?
keep the
Is
rolls.
everybody
Yes.
okay with that? Tomo, Izumi? Unless you, actually, you
We
know,
can-
the three of you, if any of you want to change.
I can stay
Okay.
speech. I can stay on.
Let's keep our roles until we know some.
Until we know.
Until we know what's happening.
So I think in the meantime, it'd probably be prudent just to oh. Do I need to, I'm the secretary, I need to do that, I just re-up everybody,
Yeah, are you gonna do it?
except for
Or
Kathy.
Kathy was the
Except for Kathy.
secretary.
But you know something she paid, right? So
The club paid for everybody,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
everybody, she's still a member.
Okay.
And
She
she
lives in Northern
updated
California though, right?
she updated the website for us. I asked her to change it to Thursdays bi-weekly.
Okay, so,
Okay.
so we're good, so I thought, am I the club secretary here?
Kathy is.
Oh, what am I?
You're the PR.
PR?
According to this, it says you're PR.
No, because I remember I got trained for secretary last year,
Oh,
because I think we might have swapped, Kathy and I might have swapped.
okay.
Anyway, I'll just re-up everybody since I will be on the website.
Has anyone heard from Rishi?
He's gone. I'm the treasurer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gone. He had a baby, so he
Ah.
just can't come back.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's called
Okay.
sleep deprivation.
And then I'll update the template, or do you have a template, an agenda template, or do
Yes,
you want me to update it?
Yes, I have a template. I will send you.
You want me to?
Yeah, yeah.
Do we have a
I will
Google
send you.
Documents in place, or is there a documents for some things? Just email it, Tomo.
Mhm.
the document or
Just email the agenda.
agenda sheet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Does
Okay.
anyone have anything else to bring to the table?
And then I have my word of the day back, and then I think
Nope.
we're good.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.